Women's International League for Peace and Freedom show, The Wake Up Call, on WCOMLP, Chapel Hill and Carver, 103.5 on your FM dial, or live streaming at WCOMFM.org. You can also watch the show on the People's Channel after a week's delay on Thursday night at 10 p.m., Friday morning at 6 a.m. or Tuesday at noon. The show will also be available on our YouTube channel, Wilf Wake Up Call. I'm Iris Schwinzer here with our host, Lori Hoyt, and Emily are here on the camera today. Our special guest is Darryl Howard.
Welcome to the show. And I'm so delighted that you're here, and this is very exciting. Because first I just thought we were having Sharita to talk about your foundation. I didn't realize that you were going to be coming too.
Oh, yes,
So by the foundation, we're talking about the Darryl Howard Foundation. So we're going to find out all about that and about Darryl right now.
Okay. My name is Darryl Howard. I spent 24 years in prison for a crime I did not commit. Since I have been out, I have been very active in speaking in all the colleges around the country about my experience and the things that I went through in prison, and finding ways to curb some of these things. You know, stop some of the people going to prison, because it's widespread that people realize. I mean, hundreds of people get out of prison every year for crimes they did not commit, and it's something that the public really don't know a lot about, and I'm here to educate the public about it if I can.
I'm delighted because right now, I had read so much about it. I had not actually read her book, The New Jim Crow, by Michelle Alexander. And I finally, Emily had the book in my car, and I finally had started them reading parts of it. And I knew a lot about it, but it's of course worse than even you think you know about it. And you're right, there's so many people that don't get a chance to have their innocence proven. Now, what helped you was the Innocence Project?
Yes, the Innocence Project in New York Carolina was the first organization. The law school at Carolina was the first organization that got involved in my case and opened it up. You know, brought the attention to my case.
And what's the name of that organization? Trelana?
No, Carolina, the school right down the street.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Their law school got involved in my case first.
Okay.
And they was working the case, and me and my wife sent out like 175 letters through all the major universities in the United States, and the Innocent Project in New York, which Barry Scheck run, got involved, and they started working on my case and worked the DNA angle. You know, DNA is a technology that's very helpful. And came to me and decided that they want to work that angle by themselves. And 14 years later, here I am.
Well, and how long have you been free?
I've been almost 3 years now.
Almost 3 years. Yes. And now you're helping other people as they get freed, because I'm sure there's quite a big period of adjustment.
Yes. Right now I'm running a nonprofit. It's called the Darryl Howard Foundation, which is a Darryl Howard Corporation, which is live on, I got my own website that people can go up and look at. And one of the things that I noticed in prison was men that was in prison and women was not having the opportunity to see their children in the fashion that they need to. And while I was gone to 20 years, my son died from a drug overdose. So that made me very aware and very, sympathetic to what was going on. So I promised myself that if I ever get out, and when I get out, because I had all the confidence in the word I was gonna get out, that when I get out, I was gonna try to help the guys that's in there see their children. So the Darryl Howard Foundation is an organization that work closely with a lot of other organizations in North Carolina. That if you're in prison and you show the kind of attitude that it takes to want to do the right thing to get out, we will bring your child to the prison to see you. But right now we have a little trouble with funding, which is always the case when you first start an organization, but we are determined, and we're not going to give up.
Well, good for you. So you've started this foundation, and right now you're getting it off the ground, essentially, still getting donors and people to realize what your mission is and what you're trying to do.
It's on the website. It's the Darryl Howard Corporation. You can go link onto it, go up and make a donation, whatever, and that money will go straight to what the things we are doing to help. And another thing that I noticed when I was incarcerated for 24 years, I want to give you a little history about incarceration because
Please
people don't know a lot of stuff about that.
Please do.
Prison is not what you see on TV. It's not even close to it. In prison, they take a lot of your basic rights, like the right to use the restroom, to right to get up on time when you want to right to all these things are like stripping a man of everything. And while I was there, I was innocent, so it was like double standard to me. I was being punished twice, you know. So one of the main things I did was I looked around and tried to figure out, because I had all the confidence where I was gonna get out, and you need that in this world. You know, you need confidence, and you need the ability to believe in yourself and God for all the help you need.
And keep that hope alive.
Keep that hope all the way alive, because if you let it slip to that, I'm not sure, you're gonna stay there. And to me, whatever you're doing in life, if you believe and you keep the faith, it'll happen for you. I'm a true believer of that. You know, it took me 24 years to get out of prison, and I never wavered one time. And here I'm sitting right here, right there, talking about my case.
And how old were you when they?
I was 33 years old.
33. So you weren't a kid.
No, I was not a kid. Have you heard about the Duke Lacrosse case? The DA was in that case. He was the same DA that lied on me and stuff and put me in prison.
Really?
Yeah, Mike Nighthorn, he was the DA on working the case back then.
Oh, for goodness.
So it was a group effort, but they did it. You know, but I was determined to fight to the last breath.
And I understand with a lot of people, they don't have very good lawyers, or it's very hard to get lawyers who have enough time if you have a public defender. And a lot of times they offer these plea bargains, and people are afraid not to take it because otherwise they'll have even more years in prison. So that a lot of people accept the plea bargain who really are innocent.
Yeah, that is true. It is guys that's innocent took a plea bargain because their lawyers was like, if you don't take it, they'll give you more time. Even though you're innocent, you got to take it. And that's sad.
That's very sad.
That's very sad.
It's very wrong.
And they haven't even proven they have executed innocent people.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, because North Carolina is the first state in the United States to have its own innocent commission. And I think they started on the fact that they realized they had executed some innocent people.
Yeah.
Every year we go to a convention for the innocents, and every year is more. Like last year was like 60 got out from being innocent. The year before that it was like 70. And I think this year is like 100.
Really?
100 people that get out of prison through DNA and other means that's actually innocent. Not having something to do with it. I mean, completely innocent. Didn't have nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
And people in this country don't know how bad that is. It is terrible. And I think bringing awareness to it, and I go to a lot of schools around the country. I go to Carolina, Duke. I'm supposed to go to Kansas City tomorrow, and I am making a visit to a school in Chapel Hill, matter of fact, Saturday, and it's called the. Let me look at it right here.
So in Kansas City, you're going to one of their colleges, or?
Yeah, it's the. Let me look it up. Get that right now.
Yeah. So.
It's in Missouri. It's the University of Central Missouri.
Okay.
It's in Warrenburg, Missouri.
Okay.
I'm going there and speak to the school about the injustice that happened to me. Like I explain to people. A lot of people shocked at what's going on. People don't know.
A lot of people don't know.
They stay because, being in prison for all these years and get out and see the technology they have today is almost shocking. It's almost shocking. I didn't know how to work a phone at first, so.
Everything had changed.
Everything had
changes
changed.
so rapidly.
And it changed so much.
Yeah.
From day to day, from week to week, it seems like it's changed. But I get a lot of good responses from the students and and people that I tell a lot of people I speak for the innocent and the guilty because I met a lot of guys in prison that have committed crimes, but they weren't bad people.
Yeah.
Just because you make a mistake in your life, we shouldn't hold that person responsible for the rest of his life. I mean, take his voting rights, all these rights for him where he can't do nothing in his life ever again. And it's not right.
Well, that's the other thing that I think people don't realize. It's not just even when you get out of prison, you're still being punished over and over again. You're not eligible for food stamps. You're not eligible for public housing. You're not eligible for student loans. I mean, you're still not given your full citizen rights, even if you've paid your debt to society. And I don't think a lot of people realize that. And then there's the talk of the recidivism rate. Well, it's almost forcing people back into being, if they were a thief or whatever, because they're desperately trying to survive, and unless they got some friends or family that give them a helping hand.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's very true. That's where part of my organization is like a reentry program. And while I was there, I watched hundreds of guys go home and come right back.
Yeah.
And one of the problems is people don't understand the kind of steps it takes to keep a person out of prison. You don't need to wait till they get out. You need to start helping while they're in there. Connect with his family.
Mm-hmm.
You know, show him that we are here to help you stay out and start a life for yourself. You know.
Yeah.
So
And what about some kind of either education or job training?
that too. If we can't supply the things they need, we'll find other organizations that can help them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so we're not gonna leave you. Our goal is not to leave you out there by yourself. You know.
Yeah, because when you come out, it's sometimes it's hard to get a job without a prison record,
That's right.
let alone with a prison record.
Yeah.
And especially if you don't have very much education, you've been in prison, you're behind the times. And
Behind technology, that's the number one thing. That's the biggest part.
yeah.
You know, like just Saturday I go up to the Blue Ribbon Leadership Institute in Chapel Hill. I go there and speak.
Oh yes, that's wonderful.
Yeah, that's my first time speaking to high school students. So I'm kind of.
Oh,
I go to a lot of colleges. I go to NYU twice a year. I just left Virginia Tech last week. I take my rounds around all the schools, and they invite me a lot because I give it to them. I let them know what's going on. I give it to them raw. You know, really what's going on in this country and in the prison and the injustice that's going on in this country.
So you're when you were arrested, you're a North Carolina person, right?
Yes,
So what city were you arrested in?
Durham, North Carolina.
In Durham.
Yes,
So you're from Durham.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So what prison were you in?
Unfortunately, in prison, they move you from prison to prison. So you might be 8 hours from home, 10 hours from home, sometimes right at home. It don't make a difference. They don't care about where you're from. You know, it just.
And that's, again, they make it so hard to keep those family ties, which is so important to keep a person that keeps struggling to do better and to have hope. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they make it hard on the family.
Yeah. People don't know it costs almost $5 to make one phone call in prison. $5 to make one 10-minute phone call. You can call 1,000 people $5 out here.
So that's the other scary thing is some people are making a lot of money on prisons and prisoners.
A lot of money. A lot of prison has companies that work. You work for companies inside prison, and a lot of people that's in prison lose limbs and eyes because they make you sign waivers that, they pay you 10 cents an hour. That's what they pay you.
10 cents an hour.
10 cents an hour.
So that's slave labor.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. But they're paying the prison thousands of dollars, but they only give you 10 cents, 20 cents, 30 cents. Go to what job level you have.
And wouldn't it make so much sense if to set a fund for when you get out and pay a better wage when you're in prison, but maybe not to give it to you while you're there, give you enough for spending money, but start a freedom fund for when you get out or for your family.
Yeah, that's a
that
great
you
idea.
can
I never thought of that.
help support your family.
Yeah.
While you're in prison, if you're working. So are most people in prison, are they working for these corporations?
Yeah, a lot of people in prison work for corporations, and they don't get paid for it. The prison get paid for it. It's like a.
What
they didn't
a
find ways.
racket.
Yeah, they didn't find ways to make a lot of money. See, they make pantyhose, uniforms. You just name it. They make it in prison. Cut meat.
I knew there was some of that, but I didn't know it was that much.
Oh, it's a lot. And these private-owned prisons are the really one. You may have 4 or 5. They make dentures. I mean, you make a lot of stuff you wear and stuff. They make it in prison.
I thought that you did work in prison, but we was keeping the prison going. That maybe you cleaned up, or you maybe helped in the cafeteria, or you
have that too.
the laundry, that sort of thing. I didn't know there's so much with corporations.
Oh yes, it's a big industry. I mean, it's a big time business. It's a real big time business.
Wow, what are some of the corporations?
I don't know exactly, but I know they make. I worked at one where they make pantyhose.
Haynes, I wonder.
Yeah, it might have been. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But they don't really tell you these things. All you doing is making them.
Yeah.
So you gotta make soap. You do a lot of sewing and it's you make license plates. So you make a lot of
I've
soap.
heard about license plates. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's the other thing. I don't think people realize what a racket a lot of it is. Like with the phone company, some phone company is making a hand over fist racket, $5.
Yeah, and people don't know that.
How many minutes do you get for $5?
You get 10 minutes.
You get 10 minutes.
And another thing you don't know, like if I'm in prison and my sister want to send me some money, she got to pay the prison $8 to send it to me. You have to pay the prison for your people to send you money that you're going to spend in prison, and prisons tax you. So if, I think the weekly jar is $40, so you only spend $36. $4 automatically go to them through taxes, but you can't file that tax once you get out of prison.
Oh, so there's just so many ways that they chip away and make it so hard for family, and this is punishing the family too.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you an example on something that I had to deal with when I was in prison. Like in the visiting area, they got like 40 seats, 40 inmates can visit, but it's 200 inmates. So okay, 40 visit at a time. So if your people don't call and get it on time, you won't get a visit. Never.
Wow.
And they got all these dress codes and and in prison, in the visiting room, they sell food. They sell a cheeseburger costs $5. Just a little round cheeseburger. A pack of chewing gum costs $2. Now, the funny thing about it is, if you buy the chewing gum, you can eat it. You can't take it back, and she can't take it out. You got to throw it away. But you can pay $2 for it. If you chew one stick, that's it. It's going in the trash can.
And she can't take it with
She can't. The person can't take. You can't take nothing out of the prison, and you can't take nothing back to the dorm. So what you don't eat right there got to go in the trash can. It is a.
There's just so many things that can just make you furious, but
Exactly.
we don't realize. I mean, I just know that there are some prisons that are built for profit prisons, and I know they don't have a very good record in terms of safety and all, and how they care for if people are sick. But I didn't, and I knew some of that. But boy, it just is always worse than you think it.
Yeah, and another thing I don't think people realize that most of the officers that work in prison are women.
Most of them.
Yes.
Wow.
Most of the correctional officers that work in prison, I think they had a program called Work First, and instead of putting you on welfare, they put you in prison to work. And young girls are working in the prisons.
So that doesn't seem like a.
That ain't a small thing at all. But I mean, they put them there. I was at one prison in Warrington, and I think it was like when it comes to correctional officers, it was like 70-30, 70 women correctional officers and 30 men. Like percentage.
Mm-hmm.
So most of the people that worked there was women.
Wow.
It's nothing wrong with it, give them a chance, but just go to show them how they done found another loophole to work the system and get money, and people don't know about it.
Yeah. So they get extra money because of hiring people who sometimes would have a hard time getting a job.
And I think they had a workshop there that worked, like people with slightly deformities and stuff. They get them jobs there too. It's a pretty smart racket
Yeah.
that people don't know about.
So you were 33 when you were you married at that time?
Yes.
And so you kept your family ties?
Yeah, my wife came to see me every week
Oh.
for 24 years. Oh. She missed 2 visits.
Oh.
Well, my
you
story
are
is on
so blessed. What?
Yeah, I'm so blessed to have her. She's a very good woman.
Yeah.
We're going through some problems right now. I'm not going to, because it's hard adjustment. It's a hard adjustment to adjust, for me.
And I'm sure for her to have, as much as she's happy to have you home, it's still hard if you're used to being in charge of the house and how things go.
Yeah.
And to have to, negotiate. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a very good one, but we working things out the best way we can.
Yeah.
I think one of the main things that I have to deal with the most is not getting what I want right then from being gone so long.
Yeah.
You get this ability. I want it right now because you've been gone so long and I done missed out on so much.
Yeah.
It's not waiting for things, and
You get impatient.
get very impatient.
Yeah.
And a lot of the habits you pick up in prison, you bring them out here. Like, one thing I know is I always throw stuff in the toilet stool because that's what you do in prison. You don't have a lot of trash cans. You throw everything in the toilet stool, in the toilet.
Oh my God.
It's like almost, that's when you flush everything, you know. And I was doing it at home and she was like, you keep flushing it down on the toilet stool. I said, I'm thinking, I can't figure it. It's a real hard thing to do something for 20-something years, then get out and stop it.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm working on it. The Innocent Project, they help me adjust to.
Do they?
Yes, they very resourceful. The Innocent Project in New York, they very resourceful. They do a lot of things for the people they get out. Barry Sheck and his organization, which is the New York Innocent Project.
Yeah.
I think he got out close to 900, maybe 800 people since they've been open since the 90s.
Oh my goodness.
Through DNA.
Yeah.
And DNA.
But DNA has transformed that whole issue, hasn't it?
Yeah. DNA have proven that eyewitness is no good because people have got on the stand and say, I'm 1% sure that's the person, but DNA said, no, that's not. One lady that I know about, she started an organization. You probably read a book called Picking Cotton. Yeah.
I didn't read it, but I heard of it. You read it?
Yeah, I met her. Like, she's a very nice woman. She run an organization where she help people that's victims and the person that accused me. We go to a retreat and we talk things out. You know, you've been feeling guilty thinking I did something for so long, but I didn't do it, and it's hard to let that go. You know, it's hard for somebody like can't believe that this man actually didn't do it because most of people believe what the court say.
Yes, they do.
And the court be wrong a lot. You know, I'm not gonna say it's all wrong all the time, but when you got a DA that has the power to do what he want and don't nothing happen to him, like the one in my case, unfortunately he did go to jail for 1 day, but they got the power to do whatever they want and they get immunity. So they don't go to jail, they don't get nothing, so they do it.
Yeah.
But the laws need to change. They need to be held accountable for stuff they do.
Yeah, well, they have a little too much power. I think that's being looked at because sometimes they have so much power that it can be misused. Power can easily be misused. Whoever has it.
Misused. But there's a lot of organizations that I am working with. One of them is Big Sister Talk. It's a close friend of mine, Shanita. She introduced me to a girl we try to team up and whatever we can do to help girls or boys deal with the parents, go see their parents, and things like that. Even the Friendly Committee, the Friends Committee, that's another organization I've been working closely with to help me, get what I need in order. Because I had the foundation about 9 months, but by me not being very tech wise, I have to find different people to help me deal with these things. And some people ain't got the patience, So I just been trying my best.
Yeah, that's a big responsibility, a foundation. Yeah, so do you have a board to have people help you get?
Yes, right now I do. Right now I
yeah, that would almost be essential, I think, to help you.
One of the main problems is funding. Trying to get people to donate a little something where I can, help the kids, because people that's never been into the court system don't realize. Just take for instance, Billy, just an average name. He go to prison for 5 years. He's married. His wife don't want to wait. She take the baby and leave and go get married. Now this man is going to raise this man's child because she don't want him to do it, even though he might have made a mistake. But Billy need a chance to see his child and have a say in his child's life. Because another man, I'm not going to say you're going to mistreat him, but he's not going to treat him like you're going to treat your own. And the Darryl Howard Foundation is trying to close the gap between that. We will go to the house or where the person stay, talk to the mother, and handle the whole cost. Take you and the child or the woman to the prison to see the daddy. Let him talk to his son, As long as he's showing the right things in prison to stay out of trouble, we will work with him. But if you're going to be in trouble, get in trouble, we're not going to get involved with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Right now I am talking to some people at Pope Youth Center where I want to go up there and talk to some of the inmates up there about getting to my program and helping some of them deal with what they're dealing with.
Yeah. Well, I think those ties make all the difference if somebody's going to keep that hope alive and do well in prison if they have this sense that there's something waiting for them. And even if a marriage would break up, just if they have children, that they're not denied any access to their child, yeah.
I don't think people understand how hard it is to be in prison and not be able to see your child. That is, and most of the time, by the man or the woman not being active in the child's life, next time they see him, he might walk through the door with him. Because there's so many times I've seen son, daddy, and granddaddy on the same prison camp.
Really?
It's
that's
more common than you realize.
Well, they say that children of prisoners are at much higher risk because, daddy's in prison, I guess, and, that's...
The guidance is not there.
Yeah.
The people that guide them, if you can
Yeah.
get them to the prison, they're like, you ain't got to do what people put in your head to do. Look at me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't do what I did, son. Do the right thing,
Yeah.
Because, it's always you just like your daddy or you act like your daddy. That started framing his mind like that already. Not saying what his daddy did, but, and children like to mimic their parents, Your daddy did was a drug dealer, such and such. You can try to follow the system, but you don't have to do that.
Darryl, we're going to take a station break.
Okay.
And then you can catch your breath, think about some points you want to be sure to make, and then we'll be back in just a couple of minutes.
Okay.
This is Will's Wake Up Call on WCOMLP, Chapel Hill and Carver, 103.5 FM. You can stream us live at WCOMFM.org.
Are there any announcements that you know about? Any announcements?
I mean, if y'all would like to meet sometime to bring some more people that can really get down and like, he run an organization too. He worked for the city, matter of fact, Stop Gang Violence.
Oh, great.
That's one of the things we try to help too because that's bad. That got to a stage where it's real bad. Gang violence and that bullying. That's another thing we try to tackle too.
That's a big issue.
Yeah, we gonna see what we do. So we're gonna try to do what we can to try to put a curve into that. Because I realize a lot of the kids that's being bullied in school really don't have the type of you don't belong to a certain group or you don't know a certain people. If you know these certain people belong to a certain group, then you don't fall in that category. So we try to come up with a curriculum to help that, stop the bullying, put kids in a situation where you around people that's gonna, help you.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you have a lot of interest in the families of prisoners and in preventing some of the kids from following in their parents' footsteps, and also doing what you can to nurture those family ties for both the sake of the family and for the prisoner's sake, which is wonderful.
Yes, it's really important.
So this is what it seems like a lot of the mission of your foundation is about.
Yeah. I just want to say, I was so glad to hear that you'll be in a high school. I think that's so important to start early and letting kids know what's up,
Yeah.
And I just wonder if you have plans to do a lot of that.
Well, they can contact my foundation or contact Shanita Mills, and she will make reservations or whatever you want me to come and talk. I have no problem with it. I don't do a lot of them for free because it's kind of a lot of emotions I have to put through. I have to go back in what I do, you know what I'm saying? But they want me to come, I'd be glad to come. I am here to spread the message.
So Shanita is one of the ones who works with you on your foundation?
Yes.
So is she on your board?
She's not yet, but she's one of the person that came in that's really helping me, find the support I need and the things I need to get it going.
Good
And
for
with
her.
other organizations too. We're working with a lot of different, like Big Sister Talk. That's one organization that's I've been working with.
Well, that's why it's so good if you have like a board and other people, because you're right, you can't do it all.
No, you can't do it all.
You
can't do it all.
You can be the visionary and the one with the experience of what prison was like and what it was like for your family, but you need a lot of people in your organization to do some of the legwork, or you'll wear out.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty determined, you know.
Yeah,
so,
I can tell.
Don't make no difference. I'm here, and by me losing my son is the driving force.
I'm real sorry about that. And
Yeah.
how old was he?
He was 32 years old.
He was 32. How long ago was that?
In 2016.
2016. That there's so many people losing their kids now with these drugs, yeah.
I don't talk about it a lot.
We won't talk about
Yeah, it's fine. It's all
Yeah,
right.
no, that's still pretty recent.
No, I will never get over it. I don't care how long it be.
Yeah.
That's a hard thing to get over.
When that happened, were you still in prison or were you out?
The bad thing about it was the judge had ordered him to let me go, but they appealed it, and I told them that my son had a drug problem, and I need to get out to help him, but
Yeah.
I never made it.
Yeah. Well, that's
Yeah, it's fine.
yeah.
I do everything I do for that reason, cause I don't want no other man to go through this. Woman, it's important that, you get a chance to raise your child. I don't care what you did. I mean, prison ain't the end of your life. Guilty or innocent. It's just something you did, people in prison for a joint, you know what I'm saying, or a bag of weed, which is legal. And then he go to prison for a bag of weed and lose his children. What kind of sense that make? So we doing whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. And
You'd have been motivated, I think, anyhow, but this is that extra.
That's the extra
force,
motivation for me.
yeah.
That's that number one thing. I mean,
Yeah.
I would like to get out and talk to more kids about this. I'm very
Yeah.
passionate about this.
Yeah.
I go around it. I go to NYU twice a year. I go in April again. I go up to Carolina. Mr. Baumgartner, he invites me. He's a teacher up there,
Yeah.
and he had me up to school and talk. I go over to Duke.
Well, you're going to be glad you're going to the Blue Ribbon program because I'm not sure if Lori Clark is still.
I think that's her name.
Okay, because I think some others are doing it too. But it's an excellent program, and it's on that same thing that you're working on, Darryl. It's helping kids get that extra support, and they start with a kid in I don't know, second, pretty young grade, and the parents have to be involved. The parent has to really be involved, and they really work with the parents too, and then they help that kid all through school, and they have a mentor assigned each kid, and to be a mentor with that program, you have to commit to at least a year, if not a couple of years, so that there's that consistency of giving that kid, if it's a working mom, some of those extra curricular things that can make sense, take them to a game, or just even having time to spend with them, take them to the library, whatever, or sports. So it's an excellent program, and a lot of the kids, when they finish that program, they're on to go into either a community college or even a four-year college. I mean, and these are kids from low income,
Yeah.
and the kids who need it the most vulnerable.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I have learned, since I have been out in prison, that it don't make no difference now. They all subject to it because the information is out there. So
Yes.
technology and internet is, to me, it's the devil's work. But other people say not. But
Yeah,
it's
too
just
much.
too much stuff for them to see,
Yeah,
and they need that raw.
Yeah.
They need that raw information that I would deliver to them to let them know what's really going on in this country. I'm not saying the law is wrong, but that make mistakes too.
yeah,
So the mistakes you made is not the end of the world for you. It's not the end of the world for nobody.
yeah,
And when we come to that gang violence, one thing we tell these young guys: don't kill somebody for nothing. Why would you take somebody's life over a mere misunderstanding?
yeah,
Give this man a chance to grow up and change and do something different in his life too. The same chance you're going to get because when you go to prison, you gonna wish you never did that.
Yeah,
You gonna wish you never did it.
yeah. So you want to get to them before it's too late.
Exactly.
Well, they
That
still
is
have a
our
fighting
main
chance.
goal, is
Yeah.
to get to them before it's too late, before you make that critical error and do that. Listen to me, I've been there. I've seen that.
It's a harsh culture, and between too much information when you're too young to handle it, but also guns, the accessibility of guns in this culture, it makes everything so much harder with these young people. And drugs, guns
Oh my
and drugs
God.
are so
It's-
easy to get.
It's one thing I seen when I was in prison. Yeah, I've been in prison a long time. You know, people that come to prison tell you that you won't believe how it is out there in the world. But when you in there, you be like, man, I don't want to believe it. No. It's true. You won't believe what's going on out here in this world. Who would thought 30 years ago that you could go to a school or a church and be saved? When I was going to school, when I was young, that was the main place you could go
To be safe.
to be the safest place in the world. They didn't took that from us.
Yeah.
You can't go to church without somebody coming to church soon. You can't go to school without somebody coming to school. We got to stop that now, right now,
Yeah.
because it's only getting worse.
Well, the hopeful thing is that the young people themselves are really working on that and fighting about that. You know, ever since especially the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas School in Florida, they've been kind of rallying other young people and saying, you have a voice, you're going to be voting in a year or two. You know, to get kids to realize they're not powerless, but the real power shouldn't be in a gun. It should be in a voting booth or informing themselves how to have some power in a good way in this country. The voting booth.
Yeah, it was funny. They sent me and I've been in prison for so long, and the jury found me guilty. So I was at home in the mail, and it was a jury summons. It was almost laughable to me. You actually want me to sit on a jury? You know, they must don't look at people they sitting there to. I mean, they sent me a jury summons. It's almost funny. I've been in prison for 24 years for something I ain't doing. You sent me a jury summons.
Well, in a way, it says you're where have you been you've got out of prison, have you been pardoned, or do you have your full citizen?
I haven't got the pardonship yet. The governor have not pardoned anybody since he's been in office. I have been waiting, you know. I have one of the clearest cases. If you, matter of fact, the person that I think committed my case came to court and pled the fifth. So it's almost, if you go look at it, you won't believe it. If you look at my case, which is on the internet, what you see, you won't believe it.
Well, I remember when it was in the papers, you know, I don't remember all the details, but I remember your name. And I remember the News and Observer gave a lot of publicity about what an injustice had been. So the governor's sitting on his hands. We got to write him a letter, don't we?
Yeah, we need. I want to get all this taken off me. I want to get my life back. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's waiting on. I heard they was revamping the whole system, but I've been waiting 3 years. How long I have to wait?
Yeah. Does a lawyer help you do that?
Yes, I have the Barry Shea also have a law firm. It's NSB in New York, and he's my lawyer, and I have a lawyer down here that helps him work on my case. So
Do they give you some compensation for all those years? Has that worked
Not
out
yet.
for you? Not yet?
Yeah.
Because that could certainly help your foundation.
Yeah, they sure can. I'm waiting to deal with that part, but
Yeah.
the pardon will help me. You know, they give you a little something on that to help me with my foundation. To help my foundation is important to me. It's very important to me.
Yeah.
Helping men have a chance to see their children is very important to me.
Yeah. Well, and I think when we're helping other people, that helps us so much. It gives you a purpose in life. It gives you something that you know you have something to offer.
Yeah.
You know, that you have a lot of experience, and that experience is harsh experience, but you learned a lot.
It's kind of funny when I go to these schools and talk, and I be on stage with all these important people, you know, like doctors and lawyers.
Yeah.
So, you know, I kind of go down the line and think about the years they had, the experience they got. So I remember sitting beside a lawyer that went to school for 12 years. You know, I went for 24. So I know a lot about what I talk about.
Yeah.
When I was in prison, I paid attention to everything that was going on because I was determined to go home. I was determined. I
I
was not going
bet
to
you
sit
know a
there.
fair amount of law from all those years
Yeah,
to,
you learn a lot about the law.
yeah.
You learn about the law. Cause I first started, in my quest to get out, I started dealing with what they call prison lawyers. You've heard them, ain't you?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, it's not true. I ran into a lot of roadblocks with that, but it's some. I'm not gonna say it don't help nobody, but some people actually helps, but it didn't
Yeah.
help me. So
Did they help you?
they didn't, they just took my money, but
Oh, I thought prison lawyers were people in prison who learned so much law they could help
yeah,
each other.
yeah, but that's a scheme, it's just like a real lawyer, some of them,
Yeah.
but I went to prison. I was determined, so I started looking for guys in prison to help me, and I seen that was gonna be a good route for me. So my wife hired a lawyer, and he gave me a 50-50 chance to get out. So I didn't want that. So I started writing letters to all the major organizations in the United States, even all the colleges. I think it was like 77 major universities in the United States that I wrote letters to, and I got response from a lot of them.
Good for you.
I was determined, and then one thing is where I learned: if you want something and you work hard enough to get it, you work hard enough on it, you get some results. It might not be when you want it,
Yeah.
but it's coming.
Well, it sounds like you didn't just have hope and didn't just have a belief that you took action. I mean, that's a lot of letters to churn out, and you did hear back from some of them.
Yeah, a lot of schools wrote me, but unfortunately, a lot of the schools that do this work only can help people in the area.
Yeah.
But the Innocent Project in New York, they like international. They go all over, all over the world. And
So how did you write them, or how did they?
yes, I wrote them.
And
I wrote
that's
them
how
too.
good.
Yeah, and he wrote me a letter and said he wanted to try to work my case. Mr. Sheck, this is a very good man.
Yeah.
You know Barry Sheck was the lawyer in the O.J. Simpson case?
On the what?
One of the lawyers that worked on the O.J. Simpson case. The O.J.
Okay,
Simpson case?
yeah, okay.
Yeah, he was one of the lawyers that worked with them.
Ah.
It's called Sheck and Leafa. I mean, he was
Yeah.
partner. Yeah. So I go
Very
around.
good lawyer, huh?
Very
Yeah.
good lawyer. Very good lawyer. And I had a lawyer out of Charlotte too, so I had a lot of different lawyers. I don't want to miss that name. I want to be, I don't want to say nothing that Tim don't say nothing. But I had a nice dream team, what I call it. And they did a very good job.
Yeah.
A very good job with my answer. And the Judge Hudson is a judge in North Carolina. He called my case the most horrendous prosecution of misconduct he ever seen in 40 years.
Really? Well, good for that judge to recognize that, and that should look good on the record to go to the governor to give you a pardon. You know what I mean? It's not just a technicality. It was a gross miscarriage of justice, and so we got to get the governor getting his act together here.
Yeah, and only for me, all other people that's innocent.
They shouldn't keep people waiting this long.
They shouldn't keep people waiting that long. They shouldn't.
No.
They should have a system where they can work a little fast on this. Help people
Yeah.
get that citizenship
You've
back.
waited long enough for some justice, you know.
Yeah.
20
I don't know the steps I need to take, but I'm willing to take whatever steps I need to take. I am willing to take.
Yeah.
But this is what important to me. My foundation, helping guys in prison
Yeah.
see their children, helping guys that's getting out of prison stay out of prison.
Yeah.
I mean, in 24 years that I was there, I have watched people come back to prison 7, 8 times. In 7, 8 times. It didn't make no sense. And it was always the same thing. I can't make it out there.
Well, that's what I was saying earlier. You know, if you don't have family support or somebody backing you, you can't get a job. You know, you can't get any government help. You're ineligible for the ways that we usually help people with food stamps or public housing or anything. How do you make it? Unless you have a family to stand by you.
Yeah, because the government don't give you nothing.
They won't give you anything.
One thing I did that was fun to me when I got out, they got a program in Durham called Work First, where you try to get your job with the city of Durham. So I went down there and talked to him about giving me a job, and he said, I don't qualify. And I asked him why. He said, because you're innocent. And I thought that was very interesting. I didn't qualify because I never committed a crime. You have to commit a crime to qualify, to get a job.
That's
And he said, I know your case, but ain't nothing I can do.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
There's
But
some of those bureaucratic things that
funny to me.
doesn't, doesn't make
Frustrating.
any sense. It's just, so,
What is later, man? I was working in Chapel Hill one time. It's called a Living Kitchen. I was a cook up there, and I see a lot of people around here. It closed down now, but it used to be right there in front of Whole Foods.
oh yeah.
That wasn't they helped me a lot too. The man that owned that restaurant, he helped me a lot.
Didn't
I
we
thought I
go
seen you
there
in there
one
before.
time?
That's why I kept looking at you. I thought I seen you in there before. Yeah.
Because there was relatively recently you worked
Yeah, they
there.
just closed it. Yeah, they closed it. I ain't
Because
had a job
we
since
went there
2010.
once after church. We went there,
Yeah, it was great food. It was great
Yeah.
food. They got one in Raleigh now though.
Natural.
and
It's
it
closed.
closed.
Yeah, it closed.
It probably wasn't a good location. Or?
It was. I think the location was bad because they were right in front of Whole Food, and it was kind of pricey.
It was
But
kind
it
of
was.
pricey.
It was
It was very nice though. I mean, they were very environmentally conscious, which we really appreciated.
Yeah.
But it was a little pricey. So we went back to our usual place around the corner to the Red Lotus, where lunch is $6.50 or $7.
Yeah, like a peanut butter jam sandwich, they're like $10. So
Yeah.
it was a nice place. I liked it. The man there, he was very nice to me. The boss that I had there, they was very good people.
But a lot of time that's where, if you're out of prison, sometimes you have a fighting chance to get a job in a restaurant.
Yeah, I cooked. I was a cook I worked at Job Corps when I was young, and I've been cooking like 30 years. I worked at Pierre Chain, Magia. I worked at a lot of five-star places.
Did you, when you were in prison, did you work in the kitchen?
Yes, I did.
So you're a good cook.
Yeah, I'm almost like, I'm real confident in the kitchen. I can probably sleep in the kitchen, you know what I'm saying? I'm so confident now. So, yeah, I'm very confident in the kitchen.
Very comfortable.
Very comfortable.
Where did you learn to cook originally, from your mother?
Yes, watch my mom.
She's a good cook, I bet.
Yeah. She just passed a couple years ago off Alzheimer's, but she lived a long, beautiful life.
Yeah.
Yeah, my link to my foundation is, I want to say
Yes.
this so people can, just in case they want to come and donate and, go up and.
Yes, well, we'll put out a call and put that, on the YouTube, that'll go out too.
Okay, it's at Darryl Howard organization.com.
So Darryl is Darryl
HOWARD organization.com.
And organization is spelled out, it's O-R-G.
Yes, major I spelled out.
It's
And
spelled out.
another one that's I'm working very closely with Big Sister Talk, and it's bigsistertalk.com, and it's just bigsistertalk.com. And her name is Miss Kelly. She's a very nice young lady. We are teaming up to try to work together, and do the things we need to help the kids.
Okay, and bigsistertalk.com, is that all small letters?
Yes,
Also, and Darryl Howard organization is all small letters too?
yes, those small letters.
Okay.
I have it's been a challenge. It's been a challenge being where I came from, trying to do this, but
Yeah.
determination is powerful.
Yeah.
You determine, it'll happen.
Yeah.
I learned that from being in prison for 24 years.
Yeah.
If I don't give up and I work hard and I find the right people to help me, I'll make it happen. It'll work for me.
So, Darryl, when you were in prison, was there any good things? Was there any programs that they gave you some more education or some more training, or was there some ministers, or was there some therapists? Was there some support at all?
Yes, it's a lot of support in prison.
There is
They offer you all the support you need if you want it.
If you want
If you want it, it's there for you. I took a lot of classes. You get a lot of workshop you go to and
Okay.
different things. You can get a 4-year degree in prison.
Can you still? Because I know you used to be
Carolina
able to.
do it. USC
I
do it.
thought that they had cut out the money for that. They
No, USC offer that online.
Darryl, I'm really glad to hear that because
USC is a very good. Even though I'm a Duke fan, USC is still a good school.
so UNC was offering classes.
Yeah, they still do. They offer classes where you can go and get a degree.
And are people taking? Some people.
Oh yes, people take.
Because a lot of these people are hungry for something to improve themselves. Also, just because they don't want to be bored out of their skull.
Yeah, prisoners have doubled, quadrupled in the last 10 years. I mean, every year it's more and more because they want people to do them jobs. They need beds to fill. And
Well,
It's-
this is what's scary, what you're telling us about how many corporations are getting slave labor. You know, they may be paying something to the prison, but not what they'd have to pay out on the market.
Yeah.
So that's always kind of a creepy thing if somebody's making money out of, whether it's prisons or schools, when there's a for-profit motive going on.
yeah. I met this guy one time that
Dangerous.
he worked at a meat plant in Hornet Correction, and I couldn't really tell by looking at him, but he had cut his fingers off. So one day I was standing in line and I was looking at him I like, what happened to your hand? He said he cut his fingers off at a meat plant. So I said, did it pay you? That's when I found out that it make you sign a waiver when you get a job.
Because if he was cut off in prison at a meat plant.
Yeah, they make you sign a waiver that you can't, you know, you grant away your rights. So since he had life in prison, they put $30 in his account a week till he died for his 3 fingers. I thought that was so harsh. I was like, what? He said, yeah, they pay me $30 a week, man. Ain't that bad? I'm like, what? Are you serious?
Yeah,
People will be shocked
yeah.
at the level of violence and the way they do people in prison. You would be.
Were you afraid of other prisoners while you were there? Was that an issue?
Sometime you try to stay away from,
Yeah.
you know, cause it's some people that's in prison that need to be there. I mean, unfortunately, and there's some people that's not that bad. You know, you run it. It's like out here. Where I learned one thing is prison and out here is almost the same, just more of them.
Yeah.
Just more of them. You know. It's
Yeah.
just,
Well, that's the thing that Michelle Alexander's book, The New Jim Crow. You know, it took about 300 years for them to have the first million people in prison, and that was about 15, 20 years ago. And since then, we've tripled it. So the rate we're putting people in prison is just skyrocketed, and so it's affecting, she said, whole communities.
yeah, and it's never empty bed. If a person leaves that day, in an hour, somebody's back in that bed. In an hour, that bed is filled back up.
Wow.
It's never empty bed in prison. That's one thing about it. It's never empty bed.
So you were in state prison.
Yes.
You weren't in a federal
That was
prison.
in state prison.
What were you accused of?
I had 2 murder charges.
Oh, 2 murder charges.
Yeah, I was accused of killing a daughter and her mother.
Oh my God.
It was, and me being the kind of person I am, and you know, a family man, and you know, that bothers me a lot. That bothers me a lot. I was determined. I won't never let that go by. I wouldn't care what was gonna go on. I was determined.
To prove your innocence.
And
Yeah.
if they go on, if they go on,
You didn't want that on your reputation for
No,
your
no.
family and.
if you go on the YouTube, you Google my name, and you go look at my whole hearing was up there. You would be shocked
Yeah. Yeah.
at what you see.
Yeah.
You would say, "This actually happened."
And you said that this guy who took a plea bargain is probably the one who did it.
No, the guy that, well, I don't know.
Not a plea bargain,
Yeah,
but
I don't.
took a fifth or.
Well, what happened was the DNA proved that it was somebody that's involved, right? So the police go pick him up and take him to the courthouse, take him to the police station, and question him. But what he didn't know was it was a hidden camera in the interrogation room. So when the police leave the room, he takes out his phone and called his friend and said, "You remember the girl house we used to go to? They tried to put the murders on me. I ain't finna tell on nobody," and hang up. So if you say that, you admitting some kind of involvement.
Yeah.
All right, so they had him come to my hearing and get on the stand. And when he got on the stand, he pled the fifth.
But the fifth.
He wanted to incriminate himself.
Yeah.
And they still haven't arrested him. He's still walking the street.
Are you giving me? Oh,
Yeah.
where did the time go? I'm
It's cut
sorry. So let's read this again then. Our time is almost up. Thank you so much for coming.
I appreciate this. I really do.
It's been a learning lesson for all of us and for our listeners. So if people want to donate or know somebody who could donate or want more information, you can go to the Darryl, DARRYL
Darryl Howard, HOWARD, organization.com.
Corporation.com. That's what it's on. It's on its corporation.
Oh,
And I have an organization inside the corporation.
okay, so what, it's a Darryl Howard organization or corporation?
Right here. That is, you see what the price is right there. Darryl Howard.
Darryl Howard.
Organization.
Organization.
Yes, my fault. I'm sorry, your organization.
Yeah,
I'm trying to
okay,
read
it's
it.
organization,
Yeah.
so I said it right.
Yeah, you said it right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's
I was
okay.
I was thinking about the other girl website. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, and then the other one is the big. they
Big
do
Sister Talk.
Big
Yeah.
Sister Talk.
And hers is right there on top. All this.
.com.
Yeah.
Yeah,
.com.
Big Sister Talk. So the Big Sisters, this is where they're trying to help young girls,
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's-
Kind of get,
like you're
help
doing
them.
with your foundation.
Learn to be what they need to do to, because there be a lot of trouble with girls, at small ages doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
And they talk to them,
They
try
feel
to
good
show
about
them.
themselves
That's
and
right.
not give in to.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, Darryl, thank you so